All right, that's Aaron Hughes and the Queen Street Band. Awesome. Good morning. How is everyone this morning? Awesome, you sound great. Summer is here, without a doubt. Woo! Yes, it is summertime, and it's a celebration time. Here we are celebrating on this beautiful Sunday morning at the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Jonathan Zenz. I'm the spiritual director here, and it's great to have you here joining us this morning. Who's here for the first time? Welcome, welcome. Great to have you here, and thank you for bringing your consciousness to add to a collective consciousness of love and support and goodness. That's what we stand for here at the Center for Spiritual Living, and that's what we're going to celebrate this morning, right here, right now. So, let's launch. Oh no, I've got something. So Tony's got something to talk about. I'm going to invite up to the microphone now, Mr. Tony Matthews.
Thank you, Jonathan. Apparently we're a nightclub today. How y'all doing? So good to see you. Hi, I'm Tony. How are you today? Awesome. I've already heard you're good. It's sounding good. So I talked to you a couple weeks ago or whatever about CSL Toronto having a presence at the Toronto Pride Festival. And we're moving ahead, and it's all going to be absolutely wonderful. I'm very excited about it. We're having a nice, joyful, simple presence there. What we're going to do is there's a street festival that lasts for 37 hours over 3 different days, and we're not going to be there that long because we've done this before and we've learned what makes the most sense for all of us. We're going to be there from noon to 4 on Saturday and from noon to 4 on Sunday. We have a ton of volunteers who've already given their time and have pretty much filled up the vast majority of that schedule. So it's going to be great. Everyone is welcome to stop by at any point that you would want to. The booth will be located on Church Street, right next to the Loblaws in Maple Leaf Gardens. So it's a nice place, about the same place as last year. We won't know exactly till we get there. There are a couple volunteer things I do need support with, if possible. First off, anyone who has volunteered, if you haven't seen your email from last night, actual timing assignments has been put out there, and if it doesn't work for you, let me know, because there's we can adjust things. Second, there are 2 things I need help with. One is Sunday at 4 o'clock, we're done, and we need to take our tent and our stuff and transport it back to the center. So I need someone who has a car. Doesn't have to be super big, but it can't be a smart car. Has to be something that we can, the tent folds up pretty small, so it could even fit in a regular sedan, but the deal is you don't have to drive through the Pride Festival, which is absolutely impossible at that point in time, but we just need someone to coordinate with us so they can come to the area, we can load stuff up, and then drive it back here. That would be Sunday from 4. It would probably realistically take an hour and a half just to drive out of that part of town. So from 4 to 5:30 to get back here and unload stuff. We have a possible volunteer who just volunteered from the sound booth. Yay, Carrie!
Yay!
The other thing that would be helpful is one more person who would be available on Sunday afternoon. Actually, cover your ears. From 12 to 2, so that you might not be able to be here for the normal service. So
Cover your ears.
You'll have to see it online, as I often do when you're not here. But if anyone else would like to volunteer, by all means, please come see me. The other thing, let me see. Someone with a car, Sunday afternoon volunteer, 1 folding camp chair. You know those little chairs that sort of scrunch up into a little thing? We could use 1 more of those. That would be nice. If you've got it, again, talk to me after the service. It's a good thing. And if anyone has a 2-wheel dolly, the kind that, you'd wheel in Hannibal Lecter on or something like that. Not really the best choice of examples. I'm going to give you that.
Oh.
Or for moving boxes, that sort of a thing. We don't have that much to move, but we're setting this up. This is very well stage managed so that it's going to go in, it's going to go out, it's going to be super easy. If anyone has one of those carts, let me know. That would be really great. Honestly, we can get by without it, but I want to make it as easy for everyone who's already allotted their time. And I think that's what all I have to go over, outside of the apologies.
All right.
Yeah, so by all means, please stop down and see us. Be a part of us. Enjoy the festival itself. It's always a fun street fair. And if you have any questions, I will be here after service. Talk to me, talk at me, whatever. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Woo! So yes, we're gonna go out and celebrate. We're gonna go out and celebrate next week, and I'm really looking forward to it. We had a great time last year, and I was exhausted last year. I plan not to be quite so exhausted this year, mostly because I have an air conditioner this year, and I will sleep over the weekend, which I did not do last year because I had no AC. But here we are. So let's launch into this celebration of love now, and thank you, Tony, for your coordination of all of that. We come here every Sunday. At least I come here every Sunday. I don't know why you come here every Sunday. But I assume it's probably for a similar reason, to celebrate this concept that there is one power in the universe. That's it. That's it. There is nothing else. Nothing but this one power. One power. Which then makes me think of One Power, that song, which we've never done. Maybe we should do that one of these days. Yeah. Pardon me while I just have a conversation with the band about future services. But we come here to celebrate that there is one thing going on. There's one energy. It is an energy of love. It is pervading the entire universe. It is the very essence of the entire universe. There is nothing separate from it. It is infinite. As I said last week, it is Daddy-O, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. When we understand that there's this one infinite power, if it is infinite, there can be nothing else. So we are not separate from it. We are all part of it. And we all get to use it. We all get to thrive within it. And that's what I stand for every Sunday right here. And that's what I try and remind you of every Sunday right here. One of the ways that we do this is by reading together on the back of your songbook the Declaration of Principles, which is what we claim we stand for within this philosophy. And so as we read this together, check in with yourself. Check in to determine, is this what I truly think? Is this what I truly believe? And if not, that's okay. It's actually okay. We're not here to tell you what to think. We encourage a way of thinking, a how to think, so that you can live the greatest life you can. So let's read this together. I believe in one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation. I believe in the individualization of the Spirit, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. I believe that heaven is within, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. I believe in the eternality, immortality, and continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. I know it's a mouthful, but when you really come to a deep connection of what that actually means and how it can translate into your life, that's when we shift. That's when we shift our entire experience. The thing that really struck, because it's always something, I read it every week, but there's always something that strikes me every week as the thing that I need to hear. This week it was, I believe that heaven is within, and that we can experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. I think mostly that struck me because I've had a lot of people talk to me about the concept of heaven and hell this week, and the possibility that it's a place we're going to. And that so many philosophies rely on this concept that we're going someplace rather than actually living our greatness right here and right now. So if you can really embody the idea that heaven is a consciousness, heaven is within right here and right now, and as you live it, you get to experience an extraordinary life, that is the place I like to go in my own mind. So, with that in mind, I'm going to invite to the lectern to offer a little bit of inspiration and some lovely affirmation, our practitioner of the day, Margaret Ann Snyder.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And I had a very cerebral reading to give to you. And then I decided that the poem that I read this morning in the meditation said the same thing. in a much softer or almost loving way. So if you don't mind, I would like to share that again with each of us. I went into a mountain. I have discovered a secret place within, where the thought goes into a mountain high above the din of the world. I have found in this mountain a place of peace and rest, a place of joy and comfort to the heart. I have found that the secret place of God is within my own soul. I will listen for thy voice. And as I was contemplating a meditation or an affirmation for this, because God is and I am, and because as it is within, so it is without, I would just like a simple affirmation of I am peace. And if you'd like to repeat that with me. I am peace. And once more. I am peace. And so it is.
Page, please. I love, this is one of my favorite readings. You don't know this. This is actually one of my favorite readings of Ernest Holmes. Just listen to it. Just listen to it. I have discovered a secret place within where the thought goes into a mountain high above the din of the world. Allow that to simply resonate with you right in this moment. Discover that secret place within your own mind, within your own heart. That secret place within is a place of perfection. That secret place within is what I call the sacred. That's really what sacred means. It's that secret place within. And the truth is, it's not so secret. When you touch it, you express it, you actually shine it upon the world. Just like in Margaret Ann's meditation this morning, the concept that there's light overflowing from each and every one of us, shining, filling the world. This is the power each and every one of us has to create change. This is what is sacred. This is what is sacred. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love.
So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love.
And as I become aware of this beautiful, sacred, secret place of my heart, as I explore it and enter into it freely, with ease and with grace, with knowing that there is only one, and this is the essence of who I am. As I come into this knowing, this perfect peace, that I am one with God, that I am the love, I open myself, my heart, my mind, my being, and I share. I share this secret easily, with grace, with power, and with knowing that each of us is a center of this divine being. Each of us is love, and each of us is individualized expression of the one. And I know that as life expands and carries forward, I relax into it. I feel this love in my body, in my heart, in my mind, in my soul, in my spirit. I feel it and I share it. And I know that it is eternal, it is infinite, it is the essence of life. It is perfect, it is brilliant. And this brilliance expands and includes everything, everyone, every circumstance. And it is wholesome, it is perfect. And it is the essence of who I am. With a gratitude that bubbles with the joy of life, with the joy of sharing, with a gratitude that expands and includes all, I release this to the law of mind, knowing that it is perfect and it is manifest in and through me and in my life as one. In gratitude, I release this to the law of mind, knowing it is done. And together we say, and so it is.
I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love, this love. This love, this love, this love.
Just resonate right in this moment, relax right into this moment. There's a power in music to immediately have the capacity to take you to a place that can be so sacred. It can be such a place of pure perfection that it touches you right there. That particular song always does that for me. We are very blessed to have a brilliant band here at our center. Yes, and we're very blessed with the man who really does lead up this band, Pierre Gautreau, who writes brilliant music. And this is a song he's done here before, and I'm so grateful that you're doing it again today. Here is Pierre Gautreau, the Queen Street Band, and let's go for a ride.
Driving down life's winding road, well, it might seem that you've been paying the price of living someone else's dream. You've got to make it your own and take your rightful place upon your throne. And even if you've been beaten to the bone, you're more than who you are. You're a precious stone and you're alive. Just go for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Yeah. It may be dirt, it may be stone, but whatever road that you're traveling on, pull the top down, crank the music, feel the wind in your hair. Drive like there's no tomorrow, pain or sorrow, just breathe the air. Your life. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Yeah. Don't let your love hide. And when the tank runs dry, the answer's not in the sky, and heaven's not above. It's inside. You'll find the love. The love's inside. Don't let your love hide. Take your love for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Yeah. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. On a plane, expand your brain, walk in the rain. Go for a ride. Meditate, go on a date, collaborate. Go for a ride. Sing a song, right or wrong, play along. Go for a ride. Plant a tree, jump in the sea, live with glee. You're alive. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Yeah. Go for a ride. Oh, just wanna go for a ride. Go for a ride. No, don't even think about it. Just go for a ride. Just go for a ride.
It's Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band. Let's go for a ride. Yes. Pardon me while I get myself organized up here. We teach two things within this philosophy, both of which you've heard me touch on today. The first thing that we teach is that there is no separation between God and man. mankind, not man. You know what I mean. There is no separation between us and the divine source of all creation. There is no separation. It is who we are. It is what we are. And there is power within that. Not power in a way that we are oppressively overpowering someone or something. It is a power that is resilient and it is forward moving and evolutionary. That's the first thing we teach, that there is only one power in the universe. It is who and what we are. The second thing that we teach is that there is a law of cause and effect that we get to use. So being of this power, we use a law of cause and effect to create what we choose to experience in our lives. And for every effect that we experience in life, there is some cause back of it. Those are the two principles that we teach. That's it. It's all you will ever hear me talk about on a Sunday. And I've been talking about it for a good long time now, over a year and a half at this particular place. And I never tire of it. I trust you don't tire of it either because you keep showing up. It's all we teach. Now, within that, we teach different techniques. We teach different methods for utilizing these concepts that we teach. We teach meditation, which we engage in. You know, if you do not tend to come here for the morning meditation every Sunday at 10:30, I would encourage you to give it a shot. Come and see how you feel about it. Come and see what it does for you. It is glorious. And I have to tell you, your meditation this morning put me right into a perfect place. Thank you so much. So that's one tool we teach. We also teach affirmation, which we've now all done. I am peace. There's an affirmation. Let's say it again. I am peace. Really check in with yourself right now. Is that the truth of your experience right now? Let's say it again together. I am peace. Note how quickly each and every one of us, by consciously focusing our attention on an idea, can change the entire energy of a room. This is the power that we have at hand. At any given moment, you have the capacity to remind yourself of the spiritual truth. The spiritual truth is, I am peace. In any given circumstance, I am peace. I love affirmations. And Ernest Holmes, Dr. Ernest Holmes, loved affirmations. Ernest. I'm going to start calling him Ernest. I will not call him Ernie, though. He loved affirmations. And from affirmations are born our form of prayer. We do call it prayer, by the way. We also call it spiritual mind treatment. I'll tell you, I'm getting away from calling it spiritual mind treatment, though, because it sounds so clinical. And it sounds so, I feel like that creates actually a separation. For me, just in my own mind, I feel like if I say to somebody, would you like me to do a spiritual mind treatment for you? They're going to go, what kind of voodoo are you engaging in? It sounds clinical. It just doesn't sound, like for me, everybody knows what prayer is, right? Now, we pray in a very specific way within this philosophy. We're not begging for anything. We're not asking God to be good to us. We're not asking for anything. When we pray within this philosophy, we are praying from the consciousness of God, because that is who and what we are. And as we pray from the consciousness of God, we create extraordinary things in our life, because that's the law of cause and effect. The purpose of prayer is to change your mind. That's it. When you change your mind, which is the only cause there is in this entire experience, you change the effect. But we're never trying to change the effect. A lot of prayer comes from the concept of trying to change the effect. For instance, I go onto my computer, rbcroyalbank.com, and I log into my account, and I see that I don't have a lot of money in my account. Well, there is an effect not having a lot of money in my account. I'm not saying this is my experience, but if you've had that experience, none of us have, I'm sure. But if you have, and you look at your account and you say, oh gosh, I don't have a lot of money right now. When you pray, do not pray for more money in the world of form. Do not pray for the effect, to get more money, to have more money. The prayer is more effective if you pray from the understanding that you are absolute infinite abundance, and that is all that you accept in your life. And it shows up in infinite ways. It will show up as money in your bank account. It will show up as glorious relationships in your life. It will show up as a beautiful opportunity for creative expression. And it will show up as perfect health, because all of those things together are what create abundance. So when you pray, pray from, don't pray to. That's the lesson in understanding how prayer can really shift your entire experience. It's funny because we pray up here, we do our spiritual mind treatments, we pray from up here, but I've never really talked a lot about prayer on a Sunday. I talk a lot about it in class. A lot. I talk a lot about it in class. So those are the three major tools: meditation, affirmation, and prayer, that we teach within this philosophy, and we teach specific methods for each of those things. Now, why do I bring this up? Why do I bring up the stuff that we teach? Well, because you and I all have an opportunity to change the world. A lot of us walk, here I am. You ready for this? We walk, go about our day. Anybody who's been in class, I use that a lot. So that's why I go about my day, walking down the street. We go about our day feeling on some level, and I'm not excluding myself from this, because there are occasions where I still feel this, where we walk down the street and we feel like maybe there's some area of our life where we do not have control. And it's not true. The only reason that we think we don't have control is because there's some place in the subconscious that is operating, that is showing up in our experience, that feels like it may be not something we want to experience, like there's not much money in my bank account. When we get quiet and we consciously focus our attention using spiritual tools on the truth, and I talk about truth being the truth of the spiritual nature of the universe. The truth being infinite wealth is all that exists. Infinite abundance is all that exists. If you consider that God is infinite, we live in infinity as part of infinity. What is more abundant than infinity? Nothing. So we have these tools. We have these tools. Ernest Holmes writes, we can pray effectively if we decide to. Really hear that. We can pray effectively if we decide to. We can build up faith within ourselves if we have the will. We can learn to live with a sense of confidence and security if we will just get over our fears. And we can prove that love is the greatest healing power in the world. We can prove that love is the greatest healing power in the world. Everything that we do, every experience that we have, every relationship that we engage in, I believe should be founded and grounded in a pure essence of love. So, just check in with yourself this week. Was there anything that you experienced this week that was not founded or grounded in love? And it's a rhetorical question. Do not raise your hand. Just check in. Is there any small part of your week that may not have been that? Here's what I offer to you right here in this moment. Let it go. Whatever it was, it is done. There's nothing you can do to change the past. Let it go. This is the power that you have in this moment to change the future. to change your experience of the present is to change your future. This is a philosophy that is meant to be proved. Ernest Holmes was very clear about that. He said, I'm going to go to the final conclusion again, because this is the thing that always gets me. In The Science of Mind, the final conclusion, which is actually in the middle of the book, on page 423 of The Science of Mind, he writes this: in conclusion, what the world needs is spiritual conviction followed by spiritual experience. And this is where he's really very specific. I would rather see a student of this science prove its principle than to have him repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. I spent 6 years of my life going down the path to have a piece of paper that says that I can stand here before you and talk. Does that mean anything? It does not mean a hill of beans. Do you use that phrase up here? What's that?
Not in the past 40 years.
Clearly, I've been reading too much Ernest Holmes. That piece of paper means nothing if I'm not proving this principle in my life every single day. And that goes to the concept of walking the talk. Which I do, try to do. And I want to be very clear. I am actually going to use the word try in this instance, which I very rarely use. Because are there times when I slip up? Sure. There are times when I have the experience of something showing up that may, for a split second, make me go, oh gosh, no, I can't. It is up to me to prove the principle in that moment, to step back and say, I recognize what's going on here. And regardless of what has now happened in the past, I have the capacity to change my mind right here, right now, and move forward. It is up to each and every one of us to prove the principle in every single aspect of our experience. Now, proving the principle means, this is what it really means. Proving the principle means eliminating your need to hold on to stories from your past that no longer work for you. Now, if you were here on Tuesday, this is a lot of what we talked about. Eliminating your need to hold on to story. Tuesday night when we talked for a couple hours on the concept of forgiveness. And there's stuff that I'm still working on with respect to forgiveness in my life. I've worked through a lot of it. I've worked through some real big issues of having to get to that place of forgiveness. But the capacity to be able to let go of your story opens you up to the brand new story being written. I just thought of another song we should do. Unwritten, Natasha Bedingfield. It's a great song. Anyway, sorry. See, there's the tangential me going off in a direction. But the allowing yourself to let go of your story, you just got to let it go. We hold on to our stories because we believe that they actually bring us something. We believe that they make us powerful because if we hold on to this idea where we were right, where we were absolutely right, we feel like that's power. It's actually false power. When you can approach and come to an understanding that is grounded and founded and based in love and not hold to the story that made you feel powerful in that moment, you will begin to recognize that the power that you have is the power of love in all situations. Holding on to the story, not the power of love. Relax, let go. The story doesn't matter anymore. Can you let go of the story? I think also this concept of holding on can make us I think it does make us feel like we have a place of importance. in the grand scheme of things. Again, it's a false sense of importance, I believe. The truth is, and here is the truth with a capital T, the truth is you are important. Regardless of any story that has ever been told, regardless of any story that you're holding on to, you are important. You are important to the function of the entire universe. If you were not experiencing this experience right here and right now, whatever that experience is, oh, here's a big concept, the universe would not exist. I believe that the universe cannot exist without your participation. And you can either participate consciously or you can participate subconsciously. Which would you rather have the experience of? Conscious, constructive, forward-moving, evolutionary living? Or would you rather be subconscious and just kind of let it all show up? Willy-nilly. Thanks, Tony. You're just going to let it show up and, oh, whatever shows up, oh, well, it's the will of God. You ever hear that? Do you know what the will of God is? The will of God is only goodness. The will of God is only your constructive, forward-moving evolutionary experience. And I'm not talking about God as being outside of you. I am talking about God as you. If there is a will of God, it is your will for living an extraordinary life. You are not unimportant to the universe. And let's not get confused also by the sense of scale. Because if you really look at the universe seems like a really big place. There are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on all the beaches of this planet put together. Grains of sand. When you start to think about the vastness of this thing that we experience called the universe, it can start to feel like, oh, wow, we are very small in the grand scheme of things. But you have 100% power for shifting the entire energy of the entire universe right here, right now, right where you're sitting. Scale is totally unimportant. Emerson wrote, "There is no great or small to the soul that maketh all." The divine creative source does not understand scale. This is one of the things that comes up in prosperity class. It doesn't understand the difference between 10 cents and $10 trillion. It just knows that it is. Which then comes back to the concept of I am. I am. I am that I am. And the truth is, I keep saying the truth is a lot today. Something funny in that for me. But the truth is, the I am that I am is all you really need to know. If you're truly embodying that one principle, I am that I am, which is, God is all there is, that's who I am. Everything else shows up accordingly, in perfection. So, we have the capacity to shift the universe. So also talking about, so this isn't, see, I also like quantum physics, and I like watching all the shows on the Discovery Channel about, the nature of the universe, and I like to listen to the theoretical physicists who have all of these grand ideas about what the universe is all about and how it's actually, what the mechanics of the universe are, what the physics of the universe are, and they're actually quite limited in their thinking. They've decided it's one way. And yet there are those also who are open to the possibility, which is what quantum mechanics is all about, the possibility and that there is more. And if you consider the vastness of this universe, if God is infinite, I believe there are infinite universes. This is not the only universe there is. But if you want to change your experience, if you want to change the experience of humankind, you can start small. Because the universal creative source doesn't understand the difference between small and big. If you start small by smiling at people walking down the street, I think that's a lost art. I think there was a time when we would walk down the street and it was just pleasant and you would smile at everyone you encountered. And I think we've lost that. If we want to shift back to that, start small. Be the one who smiles. Now, people may start off by looking at you and thinking, wow, they're crazy. Who cares? Who cares? From that comes exponential growth. Because that person that you've smiled at, you have touched in a way that you cannot possibly even know. And that person will then smile and touch somebody else or 10 other people. And then those 10 people will go out and touch 10 people each. So there we've got exponential growth of shift happening in this world. So start small, but think big. Your experience walking down the street can inspire all of humanity. Right before service, I don't have my phone with me. Right before service, I read something online. Actually, it just popped into my brain right now. One of the members of our community who's not here today, she's working down on Harborfront, posted something on Facebook about an experience that she had, that she was with somebody, and I don't remember the exact details, so if she watches later, you'll have to forgive me if I mess this up, but this is the gist of it. She was with somebody who was working, they're both working down on Harborfront, with somebody who's working, and this person had a shirt that made it very clear that they were working down there. And somebody came up and asked what they were doing, and the one person said, well, you know, I just clean up the garbage. And the person who made the inquiry said, you do a very important thing, and it is necessary. And it changed that person's entire experience of the day. That they walked around with pride in what they did for the rest of the day. That's one small thing that is thinking universally, that is thinking big, that is thinking about inspiring all of humanity. It doesn't ultimately matter if you are important to people. Sounds like a weird thing to say, maybe a little bit. But it doesn't matter if you're important to people. You may not be important to people, but you are necessary to the creative source of the universe. Now, there are times in my life when I have I've already said it, that I've not been able to let go of telling my story. And to be clear, because people now, it's funny because I have in class now been asked, well, you keep telling this one story, does it still have, an effect on you? And I said, well, no, I use some stories now as examples of how I feel I have shifted in my life. So I will tell my story, but it doesn't hold the same emotional charge for me anymore. And that's really the thing to get in touch with. Does it hold an emotional charge for you? What does it make you feel like when you tell the story? Because if you're telling a story that takes you back to the feeling of the story, if you cannot separate yourself from that, then you're still engaged in the story and allowing it to affect you now. So I can tell stories about the horrific relationship that I had 13 years ago. It does not have an emotional charge for me anymore. I've let that go, but I can use it as an example. So I just want to be clear that you can use your stories as examples. Just check in. Where are you? So story does define who we are. It absolutely defines who we are, but it does not tell us who we will be. And far too many of us step into the place of thinking that our story tells us who we will be. Who we will be is the story that we are writing right now. If we're holding on to any story from the past that doesn't work for us, we will continue to live the experiences and the result of that story. So the very act of making a decision, and it is a decision, the very act of making a decision to let go of the story, we have now stepped into something new. And it is expansive, and it is a place of infinite possibility. Because once you've stepped away from the story, you have now opened yourself up to the infinite for something new to occur. It is a new sequence, a new chain of events. It is a spiritual chain reaction. It is a spiritual chain reaction, and it is personal. It is absolutely personal in its effect. And in that change, in that personal change, we create a global effect. We do create a global effect. This is why a couple of things are very important to me within this ministry. And I'm grateful to Helen Vallot for the thing that sparked the idea for the Spark cards. And I trust you all. I asked for them to be handed out today. You should all have gotten a Spark card this morning. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is this week really take this to heart. If you have not engaged in the Spark program, if you want to call it that, really engage in it this week. Do something this week, one thing for somebody else. Some random act of kindness or act of random kindness, because Spark is spiritual practice in acts of random kindness. Just commit to doing one thing this week. One act of random kindness for someone else, and then give them the card to help them understand what that's all about. Because it is these small things that we perceive as small that shift the entire universe. And if we want to change this world for the better, and I think that a lot of people come to this philosophy because they want to shift the entire consciousness of the world, this is how we do it. By starting a spiritual chain reaction. Because I guarantee you that you do that one act of random kindness for one person, and that person will do it for somebody else, or 10 other people, and those 10 will do it for 10 people each. And again, there's the exponential effect of changing the entire planet, the entire universe, all the universes there are in infinity. We create a global effect by living our own individual life. Just one spark changes the course of humanity. And so I had this other thing handed out today because I really wanted to wrap it up with this concept. And so you don't have to read, I'm going to read it out to you. You don't have to read along unless you'd like to read along. But this is something that you can fold up and carry with you and read it once in a while just as a reminder. I know nothing but good can go from me, and nothing but good can return. It is my inward desire that everything I touch, every person I think of, shall be blessed and helped. It is my affirmative prayer, which I completely accept, that even as I pass people in the street, some silent influence of good shall reach from me to them. Allow that to just be a reminder. Carry that with you. You shift the entire universe. This is really my message today, to tell you that you are powerful. And to never underestimate the effect that you have on the entire whole of humanity. We are not small. We are grand beyond our comprehension. Just one spark changes the course of humanity. So today, I ask you, please, to commit to being that spark. Namaste. The songs are always perfect. Yep, they just are. Everything always aligns perfectly, exactly as it needs to. So the song we're singing today as we do our offering is The Point of Power. Ha ha! That was not planned, because they never know what the heck I'm going to talk about.
I gave up trying to figure that out.
That's good. Well, this is the time when we give back to the center. We do our offering, our tithe, our gift, our whatever you choose to call it. It is something that is a blessed act, I believe. And as we give to the center, please know and trust that this center gives back to the entire world, the entire community. And as we hold what it is we have to offer today, I'm going to invite you to read with me the divine givingness statement on the back of your songbook as a reminder of what this that you hold in your hand is. Let's read this together. I know that God is the source of all supply, and that money is God in action. I know that my good is here now. I claim an abundance of money to spare and share. I know that true prosperity includes perfect health, perfect wealth, and perfect happiness. I bless all that I have now, and I bless the increase. I give thanks for this good. I know that my gift today goes forward to heal and bless. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center and know that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so as the baskets go around, we're going to sing The Point of Power. It's on page 27 of your songbooks. I'm going to invite everyone, if you're online, you also can engage in this act of givingness, and I'm so grateful for you for watching today as well. So there we are. Let's sing and dance.
2, 3, 4. In this moment I feel joy. In this moment I feel joy. In this moment I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. In this moment I feel grace. In this moment I feel grace. In this moment I feel grace. I feel grace. I feel grace. I feel grace. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now.
Awesome. I'm going to invite Margaret Ann Snyder to do a blessing over our offering.
And in this moment, right here, right now, that is open, receiving and giving, this moment of power, this opening, I accept this moment. I accept it as life and love and joy, peace, prosperity, abundance. I accept this moment as this powerful feeling of joy and peace. And I am grateful, grateful for it, for my knowing, for my understanding, for my acceptance, and for my giving. And I'm grateful for each and every person of this center who gives and opens and loves. And I am grateful for each and every person and their talent, their time, their generosity, their love, their gifts. In gratitude, I am grateful. And in this moment, I accept this joy for each and every one of us, for this center, for each and every person beyond this center. I accept this joy that is absolutely everywhere. In gratitude and in presence of mind, I release this to the law of mind, knowing that it is manifest now. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Whenever you treat Margaret Ann, I always go to this, such a grounded place. Thank you. Thank you for that. I want to thank everyone who has helped to make today's experience of this celebration possible. I want to thank Gail and Kathy for setting up this morning, and Terry and Marg for greeting everyone as they came in the door. I want to thank Pat, who's in the bookstore today. Yes, I want to thank Linda and Susan, our board members on duty. And I also want to thank Linda for always providing such gorgeous flowers to beautify our service. I want to thank Carrie in the sound booth for her lovely work today. And I want to thank Tony for ensuring that we get out to the internet and that everyone can watch us live. We do stream live online every Sunday, and we also put up our archives every week. So you can go back and watch every single talk I've ever given here if that's of any interest to you. I want to thank downstairs with the kids today, Mahala and Heather. And I'm so happy that they are down there, and we're in the process of actually shifting things downstairs and really creating a youth center down there, which we went and did some shopping and did some cleanup and like really started shifting and transitioning that space down there. So I'm really excited about that. I want to thank Pierre Gautreau and the band. I would like to thank Margaret Ann again for your beautiful, beautiful consciousness, your brilliant meditation this morning, and everything that you bring to this center. Thank you so much. Is there anyone I'm forgetting? All right. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today, for being present. I meant to actually leave that open. So as we step into this final moment, to this final thing, whatever this thing is for you,
I will invite you to just simply take what you've heard today and understand how it resonates with you. I'm not going to say that it must have resonated with you in a specific way, but start to recognize what did resonate for you. What does work for you? Because really, this is your experience of life. And so as you step into a deeper, grander expression of life and experiencing this life from a consciousness of constructive living, you experience life on a grander scale. And so just allow whatever needs to resonate with you to resonate right here, right now. Now that I know the truth, I can't go back to what I used to do. I can't pretend or ignore or go back to what I believed before. I can't live without your love. I can't live without your light. I can't live without your message. I can't live without your warmth. I can't live without your wisdom. I can't live without your so right here in this moment, I recognize that the message is clear. There is only one thing going on, and that is God. That is a divine creative source. It is the energy of the universe, and it is fully, fully present right here and right now. And it is expressing itself by means of each and every one of us. Each of us, perfect, unique, individualized expressions of this divine energy, living its life as our own. I trust and know that each of us is living beautifully. Each of us is living constructively. Each of us is living harmoniously in our own unique, special way. This is what is happening for each and every one of us. And so I encourage more and more of this into experience right here and right now, knowing that the very speaking of this word has effect and changes the entire experience of life. And in this place of understanding, I simply let go, relax into the knowing that in full faith, my word spoken is done. And so I allow it to be done in deep, deep gratitude for the word spoken, in deep gratitude for this understanding, in deep gratitude for the experience of this thing called life. For these things and so many more, I am grateful. So I simply let it be. I let go, I let God, I release and allow, knowing it is complete right here, right now, as together we say, and so it is. Now that I know I'm God, I can't hide behind this old facade. I can't lie to myself or no, I'm not perfect health. I can't live without your love. I can't live without your light. I can't live without your message. I can't live without your warmth. I can't live without your wisdom. I can't live without your message. I can't live without your message. Now that I know the truth, I can't go back to what I used to do. So just breathe into that. We're going to end today with Let Your Love Flow, which is on page 14 of your songbooks. And if you want to get up and dance and allow this energy to spill over into the rest of the universe, please do so.
Hold up. Whoop.
Oh, running to the drum kit.
Waiting for the drummer. Let's just start. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Oh, let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love bind you to love shine. And you'll know what I mean, that's the reason. Yeah, there's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candlelight. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let that wonder take you deep in space and lay you under. It's love and embrace, just feel the thunder as it warms your face. You can't hold back. Come on, everybody. Oh, let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Yeah, let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, that's the reason. One more time. Oh, let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, that's the season. Oh, yeah, let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, that's the reason. And let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean, that's the reason. Oh, let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean, that's the reason.
Have a great week, everyone.